Hi guys, Jen here with a little project I wanted to share with you. This is actually a birthday gift for Jaizella, and it's actually her birthday today, so I'm a little late, but I would like to get it in the mail. And I'm so sorry about the lighting, but there's a snowstorm coming our way today, so I don't have the sunlight as much out today, so I hope you can see everything. I will definitely zoom in afterwards and kind of explain everything. But what this is just like a sewing shop shadow box, I guess you would call it. And I used the Prima romance novel, and I first started with the Tim Holtz die, and I made like the 3D kind of, you know, dress form. So I started with that. And then I wanted a shadow box for it, but I could not find one at Michael's, so I asked my husband and he made one for me. He's so good like that. And so it is just, I want to say it's 12 by 12 or maybe 12 by 10, something like that. So yeah, he just like 20 minutes later he came back with the box already done, so I loved it. And so I stuck the dress form in there. I have some lace going around the bottom here. Actually, before I did anything inside, I did the texture. I painted it, and then I did all of this texture. Let me see if I can zoom in. So I have the script texture, I have this texture. It's funny because this modeling paste I made with baby powder and gesso and glue, and it's almost like a resist. It's really neat because I would paint over the whole thing with the pink, and if you can see, like the script, it took the pink, but mine, it did not take the pink, and I thought that was really interesting. So but yeah, so I did a lot of texture around here and there. I was just playing with my new stencils actually, so I was having fun with it. And I just did a lot of texture here, and I just kind of like patted it on there, and that's why you get like that really rough kind of grungy texture. And then I distress it with the black soot. And then I just also put some antique gold rub and buff. I have like these corners. These are, I want to say they are Primas, but they are not the originals. They are just clay ones that I made, as well as this little key. Actually, you know what? That might be Melissa Francis. You know, and I also did the rub and buff on there. And then, you know, I put the romance novel paper in the back with some bling. And it's also textured inside. I wanted it to, I left it not so grungy inside. I wanted it to look almost like wallpaper, I guess. I don't know. And then I used this little Arctic Cake charm, which is like stuck up here now, of course. And I wanted it to look kind of like a chandelier. So I just used some of my hubby's man hardware and screwed like these eyelets here and here for the chain to like kind of go over and drape down, and then it drapes over here. And then over here I have some sewing themed charms. So I have this sewing machine, and this is a thimble, and just some keys which are not even sewing related, but I thought they were pretty and they matched. And then behind the dress form here, I have just like a little hat with some hand-dyed seam binding and these really pretty flowers. I also have a vintage bobbin spool right here. And then this little chest here I had in my stash from when I used to make fairy houses. I really had fun with this project because it reminded me a lot of fairy house making, with like all of these miniature fun little things that you can do and the details you can add. So this was my last one, but I know they still have them at Michael's because I was really sad that this was my last one. So when I was at Michael's I was looking, and they have other ones too that look really fun. So I ended up buying 2 more when they had that 20% off everything sale. And then I covered that with the Prima romance novel too. I just like ripped it apart and then glued it back together. And then we start on the top shelf. I have a little mirror, a clothespin. These are like mini little spools of ribbon, some bling. This is like a sewing machine book. I'm not sure if it's gonna focus. There's like too much, but it says sewing machine. Oh, there we go, kind of. And I just printed that image online and just stuck it on a little book. And then this is supposed to be like the laces and trims row. So what I did is I just took some cardboard and cut them out and then wound little laces and trims around them. Actually, some of them are from Jaizella's shop. This one is, I'm seeing. So I did that with the second row. And then the third row, what I did is I wanted these to look like patterns. So I just found some vintage pattern images on the computer, and I printed them up and I cut them and, you know, shrunk them down to size that, you know, would look like it would, you know, fit this size diorama. And then, you know, I just put backs on them and I glossy accented them to make them a little bit more sturdy. And this is also another image that I found online. It's just a vintage dress pattern. I have a little feather in the back, and then I have in the back, it's like a measuring tape. And then here is just like a little pin cushion I made, and it's just some fabric, and I just cut some pins down to size. That made it absolutely worse. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to focus, but there's just like so much in here that's not wanting to focus. And then I have just a couple pearls here and there and like a little bling just randomly. I added some more of the bling here. And then down here, these actually are functional and they open. And down here, I wanted it to be like the fabric storage. So what I did was the cover of my A4 paper romance paper, I cut that up because there's actually images of the paper on the cover, so I just cut them up to make I wanted it to look like bolts of fabric when you go to the fabric store. So I just took some fabric and wrapped them around the paper here, and they're a little sturdier than paper. It's like lightweight chipboard. And then I just have some hand-dyed seam binding in here and a little button on top, and so that's that. And then up top, what I did, let me see if I can zoom out. Okay, and I'm gonna go up. Here we go. And so what I did, if you can see here, I just cut out a piece of that paper. I know you guys know what page this is because I know everyone loves this paper just as much as I do. But I just fussy cut it out, this paper, and this is the A4. And I know this is a 12, but if you look in the back here, I didn't want it to go all the way to the edge because I wanted Jaizella to have the option of leaving it sitting or to be able to hang it up. So I put these hangers here and I just cut, you know, so it's just right around it. And I also put chipboard, so I mounted this paper onto chipboard, so it was nice and flush all the way down and, you know, nice and sturdy. And then I was just playing with some of my sprays. I know like the back doesn't matter, so I thought it was a good opportunity to play with some of my sprays. Not that, like, I'm sure you can see there's green in here. It was just a spray I was playing with, so. And then I was just playing with some more of my stencils, you know, and I'm probably gonna write a nice message here for her birthday. So that's that. And so let's get back to the front. So after I fussy cut that out, which was, let me tell you, a pain in the butt because these are really tight corners, and with that heavy chipboard, it was tricky. So, yeah, so that's what I did there. And then what I did was I just did some more texture brick here and a little bit there, not that you can really see it. And then I really inked it up because I wanted it to look really grungy. And then this was a big peony that I had in my stash. just, you know, those pretty flowers. And it was really big. It was like this big, you guys. And so I took like 4 layers off the back, and then I kind of curled them and made them kind of extend out here more and more here, so it looked more like it was draping. And then I have just some more pretty flowers that match. This is a wild orchid flowers here and here, and then I just used the Tim Holtz, I think it's Velvet Rose or something like that, and the color matches perfect with this flower here. So I just dyed those, and then just some little details and flowers, and I love these so much. These are like one of my favorites. I added a cute little butterfly that kind of matched the gold, and this little fan here, and then these little flowers you get at the wedding section at your craft store. They're so pretty with the little bling in the middle. And so that's pretty much it for my shadow box. It was really fun to make, and it was good because I got to try a lot of different techniques with the texture paste, and so I really had fun with it. It took a while, but that's just because I would work on it for a little bit and then take a couple days break and come back and play with it some more. So I hope she likes it, and yeah. Alright, well, I will talk to you all later, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, or you could private message me. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.